Ellis Island, Beyond the Gateway, Untold Stories of Struggle and Cultural Fusion. The Island of Hope, the Island of Tears. Picture this. You step off a creaking steamship after weeks at sea, clutching your family's only suitcase, heart pounding with anticipation and fear. Ahead lies Ellis Island, shimmering in the harbor, a promise of a new beginning, but also the site of your first true test in America. For over 12 million immigrants between 1892 and 1954, this little island was more than a processing station. It was the crucible where dreams, anxieties, and cultures collided, forever shaping the story of the United States. While Ellis Island is often remembered as a symbol of hope, its deeper history is woven with tales of hardship, resilience, and the blending of cultures. Let us step beyond the romanticized gateway and discover the lesser-known chapters of America's great immigration saga. More than a name, the human reality of arrival. For most newcomers, Ellis Island was both awe-inspiring and intimidating. Immigrants were funneled through cavernous halls beneath soaring arched ceilings, their names called out in unfamiliar accents. The so-called Great Hall was filled with a cacophony of languages: Yiddish, Italian, Irish Gaelic, Polish, Greek, Arabic, and more. The inspection gauntlet. New arrivals underwent a rigorous inspection process. Doctors conducted 6-second physicals, searching for signs of illness or disability with a chalk mark on a shoulder or lapel determining your fate. Legal inspectors fired off dozens of questions. What is your trade? Who paid your passage? Do you have relatives in America? Any hint of confusion or weakness could mean hours, sometimes days, of waiting, or even detention. Separation and uncertainty. Families could be separated if one member was detained. For many, the anxiety of possibly being sent back was overwhelming. About 2% of all arrivals were denied entry, a small percentage, but a devastating blow for those affected, who had often sacrificed everything for the journey. Struggles beyond the gateway, the burden of adaptation. Passing through Ellis Island was just the beginning. Immigrants faced daunting odds in adapting to their new world. Many settled in crowded tenements on New York's Lower East Side, Little Italy, or Chinatown. Work was grueling. Factories, sweatshops, and construction sites became their proving grounds. Language barriers. Children often became translators for their parents, navigating schools, shops, and hospitals. Adults struggled to learn English, sometimes attending night classes after exhausting workdays. Prejudice and exclusion. Despite the myth of the melting pot, many arrivals were met with suspicion or outright hostility. Signs reading "No Irish Need Apply," anti-Semitic slurs, and xenophobic riots were reminders that acceptance was hard-won. Cultural blending, the birth of new traditions. Despite the hardships, something magical happened on Ellis Island and in the neighborhoods that followed. Cultures blended and transformed. Out of necessity and imagination, new identities emerged. Food fusion. Italian immigrants introduced pizza and pasta. Jewish newcomers brought bagels and pastrami, Greeks opened diners, and Chinese families ran laundries and restaurants. These foods soon became staples of the American diet, symbols of how quickly the nation absorbed and celebrated diversity. Neighborhood mosaics. Ethnic enclaves flourished, but borders were porous. Irish, Jews, Italians, and Russians lived side by side, borrowing customs, music, and language from one another. The American accent itself evolved as children from different backgrounds played and learned together in city streets and schools. Tradition and reinvention. Old world customs adapted to new world realities. Weddings, funerals, and holidays blended native languages with emerging American styles. Over time, hyphenated Americans, Italian Americans, Polish Americans, and others helped shape the modern U.S. identity. Forgotten voices. Lesser-known stories from Ellis Island, the island's many faces. While much attention is given to the European waves, Ellis Island also saw arrivals from the Middle East, the Caribbean, and Asia. Syrians, Lebanese, Armenians, and Chinese passed through its halls, each facing unique challenges and leaving distinctive marks on American culture. The staff's role. Ellis Island's doctors, nurses, translators, and inspectors were themselves a diverse group, many of them immigrants or the children of immigrants. They navigated immense pressures, striving to balance compassion with the era's restrictive laws. The detainees for some, Ellis Island was not a gateway but a prison. Political radicals, suspected anarchists, and the sick could be detained for weeks or months in the island's hospital wards and dormitories, often in limbo, unsure if they'd ever set foot on the mainland. Legacy, the real meaning of Ellis Island. Today, the restored halls of Ellis Island serve as a museum, preserving the memory of those who passed through. Ship manifests, family heirlooms, and oral histories remind us that the American story is one of struggle, adaptation, and constant reinvention. Ellis Island was never just a checkpoint. It was a crucible, a place where old worlds ended and new ones began. It's a testament to the courage of those who faced the unknown and to the enduring power of hope, even when shadowed by fear. Next time you stroll through New York Harbor or bite into a slice of pizza, remember the millions who made that journey and the complex, beautiful tapestry they helped weave into the fabric of America.